Welcome to the Verb Lab,
your weekly dose of grammar goodness.
Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the Verb Lab, the podcast where we deconstruct the science of learning and the art of communication. I'm Alex.
And I'm Maya. And we want to start today by asking you a question. What if the main reason you haven't become a fluent English speaker has nothing to do with your talent, your memory, or how hard you study? What if the real barrier is that you've been taught that learning has to be boring?
That's the core idea we want to explore today. For too long, language learning has been treated like a chore, a difficult school subject filled with intimidating grammar books and endless vocabulary lists. We're here to offer you a different path, a new philosophy, that the most effective way to learn is to make the process itself enjoyable, engaging, and a natural part of your life.
Exactly. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about learning smarter. Your brain is wired to pay attention to and remember things that it enjoys. Today, we're going to give you a complete blueprint filled with practical, powerful, and genuinely fun strategies. Our promise is that by the end of this session, you'll see that the path to fluency can be an exciting adventure, not a stressful obligation.
Before we dive into the how, let's solidify the why. It's crucial to remember what you're working towards. English, in our modern world, is the undisputed key to global opportunity. It's the language of international business, of science and technology, of travel, and of the internet itself. It's the bridge that connects you to people and knowledge from every corner of the planet.
And that bridge leads to a life with fewer limits. It means the freedom to apply for your dream job at a multinational company, the confidence to travel to a new country and connect with the locals, and the ability to form deep friendships with people you would have never otherwise met. The powerful, simple, and fun tips we're sharing today are the tools you will use to build that bridge, one small step at a time.
Every great journey starts with a first step, and often, that first step is admitting that the old way isn't working. I want to share a bit about my own story. When I started, I was a classic textbook learner. I spent hundreds of hours memorizing grammar rules. I could probably explain the third conditional tense perfectly, but I couldn't hold a simple, 3-minute conversation without my heart pounding in my chest. I had the knowledge, but not the skill.
That's such a relatable feeling. My breakthrough came when I stopped trying to be a perfect student and just started immersing myself in the language. And the most important form of immersion, the true foundation, is listening. I made a simple promise to myself. I would listen to English every single day, without fail. Sometimes it was a story, sometimes a song, sometimes the news. The goal wasn't to understand everything. It was to let my brain absorb the sounds, the rhythm, and the music of the language.
That's a crucial distinction, Maya. It's about training your ear. But input is only half of the equation. You must also produce. You have to commit to practicing speaking every day. This is where most people freeze, paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes. We need to perform a kind of mental surgery on this fear.
Let's do it. Here's the truth. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are a sign of courage. They are proof that you are trying, that you are in the arena. Every error is a valuable piece of data. It's a lesson. I tell my students to adopt a new mantra. Thank you for this mistake. It just showed me what I need to learn next. You have to give yourself permission to be imperfect.
Once you have your input from listening and you've adopted a fearless mindset for speaking, the next step is to enrich your mental library through reading. Just like listening, start with simple, enjoyable materials. Children's books are a phenomenal resource. The language is simple, the stories are engaging, and the pictures provide powerful context clues.
Absolutely. And the natural partner to reading is writing. You don't need to write a novel. Just start a simple daily journal. At the end of each day, write 1 or 2 sentences about a simple topic: what you ate, what you did, how you felt. Today, I ate a delicious sandwich. I felt happy. This simple act forces your brain to actively retrieve vocabulary and structure thoughts in English, which is a powerful skill-building exercise.
To make your learning even more dynamic, you need to watch the language in action. This is where English language videos, cartoons, TV shows, movies, YouTube videos are invaluable. You're not just hearing the words, you're seeing the body language, the facial expressions, and the context in which those words are used.
And you don't have to do it all alone. In our connected world, it's easier than ever to find friends online to practice with. There are apps and websites specifically designed to connect you with language learners from all over the world. Finding a practice partner creates accountability and turns learning into a fun, social activity. Imagine having a friend in Australia or Canada you can chat with every week.
I think it's important here to talk about patience. We live in a world that promises instant gratification, but language learning is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a gradual, organic process. You have to trust that every small step you take is moving you forward, even on the days you don't feel it.
That's so true. Every word you learn is progress. Every sentence you understand is progress. And a great tool for this is a good dictionary app. Be curious. When you hear a new word, don't just let it fly by. Pause, look it up, and understand its meaning. That act of actively seeking knowledge is a powerful step on your journey.
And what about making that journey fun? Many people think learning and fun are opposites. We believe they are essential partners. One of the best ways to learn without feeling like you're studying is to play games in English.
I love this tip. It could be a video game where you have to communicate with your team in English, or a simple word game app on your phone. When you're focused on solving a puzzle or winning a match, your brain is so engaged that it absorbs the language effortlessly. You're learning as a side effect of having fun.
That's a perfect example of deep immersion. And as you get more comfortable, you can start practicing a more advanced and powerful technique, trying to think in English. This is about consciously changing your internal monologue from your native language to English.
This is a huge step, and it starts small. As you're walking, just try to name the things you see in your head in English. Tree, car, blue sky. And to keep yourself motivated with these challenges, it's essential to set small, achievable goals. Don't say, I will be fluent. Say, this week, I will learn 5 new words. Hitting these small goals makes you feel successful and creates momentum.
A crucial part of this process that many people neglect is reviewing what you've learned. Your brain is scientifically proven to forget information it doesn't use. This is called the forgetting curve. The only way to combat this is with regular review. At the end of every week, take just 15 minutes to look back at the new words and phrases you learned.
And through all of this, you have to be your own biggest cheerleader. You must stay positive and believe in yourself. Your mindset is the most powerful tool you have. If you tell yourself, I can do this, your brain will look for evidence to prove you right. If you tell yourself this is too hard, it will look for evidence to prove that right too. Choose the positive belief.
Let's just say it one more time because it is the most liberating truth in language learning. Never, ever be afraid to make a mistake. The moment you let go of the need for perfection is the moment you give yourself the freedom to truly learn and grow.
Absolutely. You have to enjoy the journey. You're not just learning a language, you're expanding your mind and opening up your world. The more you can laugh at your own mistakes and enjoy the simple process of discovery, the easier and faster your journey will be.
Let's talk more about creating a truly immersive environment. You need to surround yourself with English as much as possible. It's like learning to swim. You have to get in the water. So, change your phone's language. Put on English music while you're driving. Watch English movies on the weekend.
Even changing the physical things around you helps. I used to put little sticky notes on things in my house: door, window, mirror, coffee machine. Seeing those words every single day in their real-world context made them stick in my brain effortlessly. It's a simple trick that turns your home into your own personal, interactive language classroom.
And let's talk about the raw power of repetition. Your brain learns through repetition. The more you use a piece of information, the stronger and more efficient the neural pathway becomes. The first time you hear a new sentence, it's unfamiliar. The 10th time, it starts to sound normal. The 100th time, it becomes an automatic part of you.
This is why singing is such a powerful learning tool. When you learn to sing a song you love in English, you are repeating the same sentences, the same vocabulary, the same pronunciation, over and over again in a way that is incredibly fun, emotional, and memorable. You're not just memorizing words, you're feeling the language and connecting it to music.
And here's a critical tip for making that repetition effective. You must use what you learn immediately. This is the use it or lose it principle of brain science. If you learn a new word today, make it your mission to use it in a sentence within the next 24 hours, either by writing it down or saying it out loud. The act of actively retrieving and using new knowledge is what moves it from your fragile short-term memory to your robust long-term memory.
And remember, there's no rush. Learning is a gradual, organic process. Enjoy it. Be curious. Don't just focus on the final destination of fluency. Enjoy the beautiful, fascinating journey of getting there, one new word and one new conversation at a time.
A fantastic way to practice using what you learn is to keep a daily journal in English. It doesn't have to be a long, detailed Dear Diary entry. Just 1 or 2 sentences a day is a powerful and sustainable habit. You can use a prompt like, "Today, I was grateful for," or "One interesting thing I learned today was." This builds the crucial habit of producing the language.
And during this process, never be afraid to ask questions. If you're talking to a friend and you're not sure about a word or you don't understand something they said, just ask. Curiosity is the engine of learning. A person who asks questions learns 100 times faster than a person who pretends to know everything.
It's also absolutely vital to recognize that your brain is not a machine. It needs rest. There will be days when you feel tired, frustrated, or overwhelmed. On those days, it is okay to take a rest. In fact, it's essential. Your brain needs time to process and consolidate all the new information it's learning. A short break is not a sign of weakness, it's a smart learning strategy.
And to keep your motivation high during those tough times, you must become an expert at celebrating your small achievements. Did you understand the chorus of a song for the first time? That is a reason to celebrate. Did you successfully order a coffee in English? That is a huge victory. You must acknowledge your progress. It will give you the emotional fuel you need to keep going.
Another way to stay motivated is to remember that you don't have to do this all by yourself. Learning with a friend or in a group can be incredibly powerful. You can practice together, you can motivate each other when you feel down, and you can share new resources and discoveries you've made.
It turns learning from what can feel like a solitary struggle into a shared, social adventure. You can even start a friendly competition with your learning partner to see who can learn more new words in a week, or who can have a longer conversation. It adds a wonderful layer of fun and accountability.
Here's a slightly more advanced technique for those of you who want to refine your skills. Record your own voice. I know, it can feel a bit strange and uncomfortable to listen to yourself, but it is the most honest and effective coach you will ever have. Read a short paragraph from a book out loud and record it on your phone. Then listen back. You will instantly notice the specific areas where you can improve your pronunciation and intonation.
And as you do this, it is so incredibly important that you do not compare yourself to others. Your journey is your own. Everyone learns at a different pace. The only person you should be competing with is the person you were yesterday. Focus on your own personal progress and be proud of how far you've come.
And don't be afraid to be creative in your learning. The more unique and multi-sensory you can make your learning process, the stronger the memories will be. If you learn a new word like mountain, don't just write it down. Draw a picture of a mountain next to it. If you're feeling inspired, try writing a short, simple poem or a song in English using the new vocabulary you've learned this week.
That's such a brilliant idea. It makes the language a tool for self-expression and creativity, not just for transactional communication. It connects the logical side of your brain with the creative side, which makes the learning process much more memorable and deeply meaningful.
As you accumulate all this new knowledge, it's important to stay organized. Keep a dedicated notebook or a digital file for your new words, interesting phrases, and grammar notes. A little bit of organization can go a long way in making your practice sessions much more efficient and effective.
And above all, the master key that unlocks everything else on this list is consistency. You must practice every single day, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes on your busiest days. That small, daily effort, when compounded over time, is what creates massive, life-changing, and extraordinary results.
Throughout this entire journey, you must remember the most important rule of all: be kind to yourself. You wouldn't scold a friend for making a mistake while learning a difficult new skill, so please do not scold yourself. Treat yourself with the same compassion, patience, and encouragement you would offer to someone you love. Your internal monologue should be that of a supportive and gentle coach, not a harsh and unforgiving critic.
And a very practical tool for learning new words is the classic flashcard. You can make them yourself with paper or use a smart app on your phone like Anki or Quizlet, which use spaced repetition to show you the word right before you're about to forget it. They are a simple, powerful, and scientifically proven way to build your vocabulary through active recall.
As you progress, the overall goal is to immerse yourself in the language as much as you possibly can. Try to have an English hour every day where for 60 minutes you only listen to, read, and, if possible, speak English. The more you surround yourself with the language, the faster it will stop feeling like a foreign language and start feeling like just another part of your world.
And never, ever lose your sense of wonder. Stay curious. When you hear a new word, be excited to find out what it means. When you talk to someone from another country, be genuinely curious about their culture and their life. Curiosity is the engine of all learning and the joy of all discovery. Always ask questions.
To feed that curiosity, take full advantage of the incredible online resources that are available to you. There are countless websites, apps, and YouTube channels dedicated to teaching English in fun and innovative ways. Find the ones that match your learning style and your personal interests.
And as you learn the language, try to learn about the cultures of English-speaking countries. Understanding the cultural context behind a language will give you a much deeper and more nuanced understanding of why people say what they say. It will make you a more sensitive, aware, and effective communicator.
And we will say it again, because it is that important: be patient. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time. Trust the process. And as you're listening, make a conscious effort to listen to a variety of different accents. English is a global language, and being able to understand different accents, American, British, Australian, Indian, and many more, is a truly valuable and practical skill.
Finally, you must take your English out into the real world. Use it in real situations. The goal of all this practice is to be able to communicate and connect with other human beings. So, take a brave step. The next time you're at a cafe with an English menu, try to order in English. The next time you see a tourist who looks lost, ask them if they need help.
And don't be afraid to create your own sentences. When you learn a new word, don't just memorize its definition. Challenge yourself to use it in 3 different sentences that you create yourself. This is how you take ownership of the language and make it truly your own.
So, when you look back at everything we've talked about today, it all boils down to one simple, powerful, and liberating idea. Learning English can and should be a joyful adventure.
It's about being brave enough to make mistakes, patient enough to trust the process, and consistent enough to show up for yourself every single day. It's about connecting the language to your passions, celebrating your small wins, and being your own best friend along the way.
Your voice deserves to be heard. The world is full of fascinating people to meet and incredible things to learn, and English is the bridge that connects you to all of it.
So, our final challenge to you today is this. Choose just one fun and simple thing from our conversation today and do it. Maybe it's listening to a new English song, watching a short cartoon, or playing a simple word game for 5 minutes. Take that one small, enjoyable step.